Hi everyone, I'm Rose Kayola. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Give to Give's first online learning session. We're so excited to have you join us and learn a bit more about our initiatives and be led through meditation together as a community. Give to Give Foundation's work is possible because of the generous support of people like you. People who believe that human potential is unlimited and that everyone deserves to have access to the power of change. Your support means we can bring our work out into communities where we know there is a lot of suffering and our work can do the most good. We're excited to have you join us for a look at one of our initiatives, which is working with the Lakota Nation, one of America's indigenous communities. We'll be joined by NCS consultant Faith Holmes, who will facilitate a conversation about the transformation work that's being done there and the impact this work is having. We'll also have a short Q&A session. You can use the chat at any time and our moderators will catch them. We'll be dedicating some time to the meditation together as a community. I want to give a special thanks to our monthly supporters. Your contributions create a solid foundation for our work, sparking change in communities. If you aren't yet a monthly supporter, please consider giving or give a one-time gift to support work like this. I hope tonight inspires you. We're so proud of it, and we have opened a special link on our website. Over the next week, every gift you give will be dedicated to supporting more work within the Lakota Nation. And I look forward to future learning sessions on our work in other areas. As a matter of fact, we're planning one next month highlighting our work with women. So keep an eye out on your inbox and on social media to participate. Now, without further ado, we're going to watch a quick video about how we work, and Faith will pick up the moderating to get our learning session and meditation started. Thanks again for joining us. I hope you enjoy this session.
Every person is born with unlimited potential, but as we grow, our experiences change us. A hurtful relationship, a traumatic experience, an environment that makes us feel unworthy or denies us our rights, all of these create barriers inside of us. Those barriers change how we see the world and what we believe is possible. Day after day, we repeat the same harmful behaviors and limiting thoughts. We are held back. But there is good news. We can transform. We can unlearn and target those barriers. We can start on the path towards happier and more fulfilling lives. It isn't easy, and it requires teaching. Give to Give Foundation is dedicated to bringing the power of personal transformation to communities where this work can do the most good. We're working with people who have experienced trauma, hurt, and suffering, and we're also partnering with other groups to support change in the environments around them. In the Lakota Nation, we are partnering with NeuroChange Solutions to enact the Change Your Mind, Create New Results program. This helps people remove mental barriers and think and act differently. We're working to create opportunities people may not have recognized previously, and we're supporting community-based groups who are advocating to improve the Lakota Nation and the environment. Give to Give is a community of optimists, seekers, and changemakers. We believe that when you support one person, you can spark a community. And when you transform communities, you can help improve the world.
Thank you so much, Rose. We are so honored to be here. To be working with Give to Give has been such a privilege and an honor. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Faith Holmes, and I am a neurochange consultant. And I'm here with two of my guests, Alice Phelps and Lora. In Lakota community, we always start off with a prayer. And tonight we would like to do the same. Alice.
Sure, thank you. Matinkashila, umpokichila shiwemiye, wopila ichiampete wachde wiyankopi. Wakio yate etke hoyue ushmalapia namitaki ob mazanikte. Tokata mawani kio wawakapi namitaki namitiwahe. Hohechekchi wichaleki chichi ocha unshimakila tunkashila lena shichia. Ushichila ya tunkashila unshimalana Lakota oyate tunkashila. Un shimala tunkasha na wakaja na koshkalaka na we koshkalaka tunkashila. Wopila tanka tunkashila gift to give tunkashila na Dr. Joe Dispenza oyate tunkashila wopila tanka na mitakyase.
Thank you so much. So I became a new NeuroChange Solutions consultant in April of last year. And the very first thing I did when I became a consultant was I wanted to bring this work to Pine Ridge. My mother moved to Pine Ridge over 30 years ago. And I read an article a number of years ago that Time magazine did where they looked at the 20 healthiest places to live in the country and the 20 deadliest places to live in the country. And that article opened with these words: Oglala Lakota County is the deadliest place in America to live. And that's the community my mother lives in, and a community near where both of you are from, or even where you are from. So I'd like to share with everyone a little bit about Pine Ridge and why it was important to bring this work to this community.
Sure. I just want to thank you. My name is Lora Catches. I'm from Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And as Faye said, we are, one of the poorest counties in America. The hardships that we face are real, daily. But I always want to highlight the beauty and of our culture and our language and our history. We come from this land, our origin story is from the sacred Black Hills. And if you take a picture from the space of the earth, the Black Hills is the shape of a heart. So it is known as the heart of the nation. And those are the things we like to focus on, to help empower our people and to inspire our people. And that's why I believe that this work is so important to our people, our Oglala Lakota people on Pine Ridge, because, we understand this. When we can understand our history and we can understand the richness of our culture and who we are as Lakota people, then we can overcome, all of the tragedies and get ourselves out, be our own liberation of these hardships.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. Alice,
Yeah.
would you like to add anything?
Sure. Again, I want to thank Gift to Gift for allowing us this opportunity. It's very heartfelt and it's so needed. It just answers prayers, literally. I've been in education for over 30 years, teacher, and I've been an administrator 19 years now. And working directly with students, with our children on the reservation, with our families. And I just want to do, whatever we can to help and to help guide others. And, it's really tough. We grew up here and we love our land. We are connected to the land, as my sister Lora said. And we have lots of culture, history, and rich knowledge that's being passed down. However, we are plagued with these challenges on the reservation with the alcoholism and drugs and the social issues that plague our people. It really has a direct effect. And it's just because of the cycle of suppression, the historical trauma, and the struggles that our people, they're constantly on survival mode. Every day it's a survival mode of how am I going to feed my family? How are we going to keep warm? So it's tough because of we've got like over 90% unemployment rate. We have like 97% people living below the poverty line. And housing, of course, is a shortage. We have an average of about 18 people living in like a 2-bedroom home. And the homes are pretty much in poor shape as well, because it's just really tough with those situations. And then the health, it plagues the health. Things turn physical, and We have the average life expectancy for men is age 47. For women, it's 52. It's like it's worse than a third world country. Basically, when you look at the statistics, it's pretty tough, and being in education, I want to push for our youth because that's where it's at is our youth. We want to be there for them, but we have a 70% dropout rate in our high schools. That's 7 out of 10 students, and that's a really tough number. Our suicide rate is pretty high. It's like 150% higher than the national average. So we knew that we got to do something. We're in an emergency, urgent state. And when we pray about things that we want to happen for our people, we continue to do that. We know it's going to take a movement. And we talked about this with our sisters. We're very much into our culture with our sweat lodges, our Sundance, and we tell each other, okay, this next round, we're going to pray. We're going to pray for healing for our people. We're going to pray for answers. And we were very, very fortunate to attend Dr. Joe Dispenza. My sisters went to the training, but I went to the 3-day weekend in Denver, and it just blew me away. It was just amazing. And I said, this is it. This is what we need. Because I have my nonprofit that we started, and it's a food pantry, clothes closet. And we've had this going a few years, but I just feel like we're putting Band-Aids here when people got to heal themselves. This is absolutely it. And I can go on, but I'll stop there and I'll let you ask another question.
No, that was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing your hearts. Lakota spirituality and way of life is very much in alignment with what Dr. Joe teaches. Could you speak a little to that?
I'll let my sister
So
go
my
first.
background's also in education, and um, just I learned that when you know who you are, then you can help change the world. So it's like, who am I? I understand who I am and study my culture and practice and learn my language. And so it's like when you go through these things and this process, it's spiritual. It's like spiritual work. And even in our ceremonies, with the Sundance and the Sweat Lodge and the Vision Quest that we go on, praying to seek a vision. It's just like when we go into meditation with Dr. Joe, um, and he explains the science to, how these things are coming true. And we witness it as a sun dancer, and going through these ceremonies, we witness these things happening. But whenever you can understand the anatomy and the science, it just makes it so much
Mm.
more powerful, and it makes you so excited to want to teach others, you know, who, um, maybe don't understand. If they can understand the science of this, then they'll start to practice the culture. Because I think a really important thing to have people understand is that our culture and our language was outlawed. So whenever we do practice our culture, we understand the power that we have. And it's just like Dr. Joe says too, we are supernatural. And he gives us the science of how we're supernatural. And then you start to believe it and understand it. So I'll let Alice.
It's just multifaceted. It's just amazing. Like I say, our way of life has been for thousands of years, and we still have the practices. We still know the sacred teachings behind it, and we still utilize that today. And we're still alive today, despite all the things that our people have gone through historically. And we want to continue to move forward in that. And I feel like we have our ancestors behind us, helping us, guiding us, and giving us this infused knowledge through our dreams and through the directions and the path, and with our faith and belief, because I believe the power is in the belief. That's where it's at. So when we have our ceremonies and the spirits come in and we see all these things and they help and they doctor and they do all this stuff, And then when we go to the Sundance and you feel all that enormous energy there, and the grounding, we're barefoot. And then when we do the Hamblecha, where we pray for a couple of days or so, but we're praying and we're meditating and with while we're fasting. So I feel like all of that, we feel the energies we see. And then when attending Dr. Joe's Dispenza's event, everything we were going through, I'm like, wow, things were just, light bulbs were going off left and right and clicking. And I could see this. That's what it's called in the scientific term. Like, we already know all this stuff and what's going on, and we could feel it, we could see it, we're there. So it's called the quantum field. So in scientific terms, that's the void. We know that anything is possible. We know that you create what you want with that positive thinking and that mind. And it's the pineal gland. That's where I feel. So it was just so exciting and an eye opener. And I just feel like I'm at another level with my knowledge and thoughts and perseverance and excitement. It brought excitement. I was writing everything down and I was excited to share with everybody. And then when we had the opportunity for it to come, I signed my staff up. You guys, I got to go to this. It's amazing because we are going to heal ourselves. We are going to do this. You are going to heal yourself. And it all starts with recreating your reality and saying stop it when we need to. It's just all these tools that we're taught and we're offered and we're provided were so effective. It's life-changing. And I could see this happening. And when my sisters and I went up to our sacred Black Hills to Bear Butte to do our Hamblecha, we all saw the same vision. We weren't together. We were all spread out throughout the mountain. But when we came back and we went in the sweat lodge and we shared, we said we all saw the same thing. We saw us all doing this work. We know it's inevitable and this is what we are supposed to do. And we are supposed to, because it's going to help our people. And I even had dreams and visions and I didn't understand what it was at first, where we were all in a circle and I could see the lights of our chakras all lit up, of our energy centers. And I didn't know what that was at first. And my sisters were all trying to explain it to me. But now I know that's what we're doing. And when we have our sessions here at my nonprofit building on Sundays, we have our set meditation sessions, our sharing of our book we're working on. And we come together for our meditations. We sat in that exact same way as in my dream. I said, this is exactly what I saw. It was so exciting, so amazing, because I feel like we are on the right path. And I'm so excited. Like, I don't know what's coming, but I know something's coming and it's big and I am ready. Right, sister? We're ready for this. We're ready to help our people, teach our people to help themselves, because we don't need to be looking at statistics like this. We don't need to be looking at the 300% higher than the national average mortality rate for babies. We don't need to live like this. Our people can make a change. They have to realize their power, how beautiful they are. They come from a powerful warrior society. We come from powerful warrior women, a powerful background that's rich in culture, history, connection with Mother Earth that we already know about, with the energy of the plants and the trees and the rocks and everything around us. And everything we need is here. The medicines are here. The food is here, the teachings. So we just have to open ourselves up to accept those things. And that's what's so exciting about this, is because this is going to change lives, and it already has.
I would love to invite both of you back for anyone who would like a longer extended understanding and learning of this. Is that something that you all would be willing to share? So if people are interested, you can always email me and we could set up a time for you to hear more about this incredible, strong, resilient, beautiful community, the Lakota community. I want to thank you both for joining us today. I want to, we're going to open it up to questions and answers. We're going to be joined by Sadek and Rosie, who are two other NCS consultants. We all cannot thank Give to Give enough for bringing this work to Pine Ridge. The fact that we could bring 99 people through the Change Your Mind, Create New Results workshop was life transforming for many people. I've heard people say that like my whole world fell apart. And had I not gone through this training, I would not have been able to survive it. But because I learned how to do this work, I'm okay. So we're hearing all of these testimonials of people who are really seeing the results of doing the work. Alice Phelps, Lora Ketches, I can't thank you enough for joining us this evening. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can do a part 2 for anyone who is interested in knowing more.
Thank you all. Thank you, Faith.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lora and Alice, for joining us. I am now joined by Sadek and Rosie, two NeuroChange Solutions consultants. The three of us have kind of been the dream team in bringing this work to the Lakota Nation. Thank you, Give to Give, for all of your support. We'd like to take a minute to let you know a little bit about NeuroChange Solutions, because people are familiar with Dr. Joe's work, but not everyone is familiar with what is the Change Your Mind, Create New Results workshop. Sadek, would you get us started?
Thank you, Faith. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being on the call. We're so grateful to be with you today. My name is Sadek Bakazi, and I am one of 183 certified consultants around the planet that are blessed to be facilitating one of the most powerful science-based workshops for emotional self-awareness and self-regulation designed by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza, for those of you who may be not familiar with his work yet, is an international speaker, a New York Times best-selling author, and a researcher who has been studying the brain and how we function as human beings for the past 30 years. And he has designed a practical program for change. Now, change is an interesting word. True evolution through life is about change. And for individuals, companies, and organizations to evolve, they have to learn how to change. And not only to respond to change in the environment, but to create change in the environment by making them understand that they themselves have to change. So we break down that model in a scientific way so they understand what they are doing and why they are doing it, so that the how becomes easy for them. Because a lot of people talk about change, but no one really tells you how to change. So we teach people what meditation is, and we have the science and research behind it to demonstrate that our nervous system is the most outstanding pharmacist ever created. And today, the ripple effect of this work has not only reached individuals, companies, and organizations around the world, but also hospitals, universities, prisons, veterans, and lately, people from the Lakota community in Pine Ridge, which proves over and over again how practical and effective this work really is. Faith, would you like to add something?
I sure would. Thank you so much, Sadek. So the first step to change is really becoming conscious of our thoughts, right? Observing ourselves from another level of mind. And in neuroscience, we call that metacognition. And you and I have all the neurological and biological machinery to be able to do that. And in the Change Your Mind, Create New Results workshop, we teach people the science of change. And the more conscious and aware we become, the less unconscious we go in our waking day. But first, we have to create the awareness and of what we have been thinking about. So it's through this process, we teach the science of learning and unlearning old, unproductive patterns in our lives. And then we take people through a process of relearning. How do you want to think? act, and feel. And it's through this process that we are then able to make great changes. It's vital for us to understand this because 95% of who we are by the time we are 35 years old is a set of unconscious thoughts, belief systems, emotional reactions, and behaviors that function just like a computer. The latest research in human development shows that we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and 90% of them are the same thoughts you had yesterday and the day before that. So if we keep acting the same way, if we keep thinking in the same way, and we keep feeling in the same way, then our lives are going to stay the same, right? However, this systematic approach, Change Your Mind, Create New Results workshop, helps us understand how to apply it for your personal life and how it impacts you. It also provides a roadmap to how we can create lasting and meaningful change to put at work in our own personal lives and our community, as long as we continue to do the work. Rosie, would you close us out, please?
Yes, hello everybody. You know, this work is for everybody, for every person, every culture, every age or situation. And we use meditation, also known as mental rehearsal, as an instrument to get to the operating system in our brain. Because according to psychological model, 70% of our thoughts and feelings are negative, because we have been trained as a society to live in a survival mode, to live in stress. So if we want to change our personality, our life, we literally have to become someone else. And in this workshop, we teach 2 models, 4 tools to make systemic change from the inside out, like an actor or an athlete mentally rehearsing their script or game. They start mentally rehearsing their future, living that experience on how they want to show up in their lives. And after the workshop, we accompany them through a process of 30 days to put into practice everything that they just learned. This helps people fire and wire the best version of themselves every day. It is so exciting because people have lived transformation on their lives and in the lives they touch around them. It is a dramatic and sustainable change when you have the necessary tools to apply it in your life. And as Dr. Joe says, we are greater than we think. We are more powerful than we know, and more unlimited than we can ever dream.
Yes, thank you so much, Rosie. Thank you, Sadek. We are getting incredible comments and questions in the chat. One of them, yes, 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 powerful, beautiful warriors. Thank you, Alice and Lora. Someone else mentioned, as the descendant of Africans who were enslaved, yet managed to hold on to our spirituality. This resonates so deeply with me. So the first question that was asked, I wanted to let everyone know, if you don't see your Zoom name correct in your box, don't worry about it. We're on a webinar. And but Sadek, was there a moment during the workshop where you thought, wow, this is working?
Absolutely. I mean, like when we're working with communities that have suffered so much and that have been through so much trauma, at the beginning of the workshop, there's always resistance and there's always like fighting. But throughout the end of the workshop, when we saw everybody's hearts opening and everybody's in flow and everybody's connecting again, when we heard that this is our path to healing, I mean, this is so moving for us, because we're just holding space and sharing this information for people to empower themselves. Because once they have the tools to work on themselves and they see the power they have in changing, this is the best thing we can experience and witness.
Yeah. So there's a question that says, what if I'm afraid of change? How can I handle my fear?
Well, I think that when you have the tools to get into your fear, acknowledge it, observe it, and then you can transform it because you acknowledge your life and you deserve to be without that fear. That makes an understanding change inside of yourself, and then you can do it because you don't focus on the fear. Now you are focusing in your greatness. So I want you to think about what is your best version of yourself and focus and give your energy to that part. And then your brain and your neurocircuits will start connecting to that new self, to that new life. And it's to practice every day because this is a neurological path. When we are in fear, we are in that neurological path to fear. So when we change it and start to practicing the greatness version of ourselves every day and every day, magic happens.
Your neurochemistry, your neurobiology, your hormones, and even your gene expression stays the same because you're staying the same. But if we start thinking some new thoughts and we start acting in new ways, then we can create a new life for ourselves. Thank you so much. Sadek, could you give a few examples about changes in the Lakota Nation that you've seen so far in our experiences with working with our community?
Absolutely. I mean, we have our Monday meetings when we follow up with the community. We see people parking cars in the middle of the road doing their meditations. We see other people having ripple effect, not only in their personal lives, but the lives they affect around them, their families, their friends, and how they can start, because the first step to change is to become conscious of ourselves. So when they start catching themselves, catching that thought, that limiting belief system, that emotion that they've been running for years on end, and changing, making a different choice to feel differently or think differently, those small victories add up. And witnessing that and seeing that on Monday meetings is really, really powerful. And we have great testimonies that we're receiving every week, of people changing, of people healing, of people choosing different ways of thinking and feeling. And yeah, it's been really, really moving to see that.
There was someone who joined the call 2 weeks ago on a Monday night, and it was her first time joining. And she said, I talked to another participant earlier today, and I said, have you been doing the work? And he was like, no, I've gone back to my old self. She was like, yeah, I'm struggling with it too, but I'm going to change. So that's the beautiful thing about this workshop, is it's giving people the tools and the knowledge and even the verbiage to be able to put into practice. Oh, I can change this in my life. I can be greater than my environment. I can be greater than my body. I can be greater than time. Rosie, last word.
Yes, I would say that this is a practice that you can do it every day, or you should do it every day. So when we connect with them every Monday, also us, we said about our lives, what is happening there, and then we inspire from each other with our stories to take in new energy every day and connect to our best version, and to focus and create that neurological connections inside of our brain, and create that chemistry inside of our body to remember us who really we are. So I encourage you that continue with this work in your life and around you.
Thank you. Well, we're going to take this energy into a guided meditation. We're going to do Go Love 20 together for the Lakota community. And we want to ask each of you, we want to thank you for sending all of your love and healing for this incredible community. And what we ask you to focus on during this meditation is to focus on love, healing, and the empowerment of the Lakota community. Please don't worry if you've put questions in the chat and we haven't gotten to them. We'll address some of them through the email. And if you're interested in knowing more, we'll be around to answer any questions. Again, as we go into this Go Love meditation, if you will please Focus the attention of your heart on love, healing, and the empowerment of the Lakota community. Thank you so much.
Eyes closed. Take a breath. For love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. Into your heart. Feel it. Notice it. Your heart. And breathe a little love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. Into your heart. And breathe in for love. To your heart. And exhale. And relax. And let a little more love to your heart. Breathe for love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. And let love into your heart. And let the thought of someone you love bring up the feeling of love in your heart. Feel it. Hold them in that feeling. In your heart. Hold them in your heart. Feel it. Now put their heart in your heart. And feel your love for them. In your heart. That's your love. You're giving them. In their heart. Feel it. That's energy. In your heart. That's energy. In their heart. That's your energy. In their heart. That's love. Your love. In their heart. That's love. In your heart. Feel it. Experience it. Enjoy it. That's the love you want them to feel. In their heart. Feel it. In your heart. Feel your connection to them. In your heart. One heart. That's love. In one heart. Feel it. And become one. In your heart. That's love. Your love. for their heart. That's your love. In your heart. Feel it. In your heart. That's energy. In your heart. That's a little more oneness. In your heart. That's your connection. To love. In your heart. That's the feeling. You want people you love to feel in their heart. And remember, this feeling know it by heart. That's life. In your heart. Who do you want to be? When you open your eyes. In your heart. Feel it. Your heart. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And come back to the realm of space and time. remember, there's love in your heart.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That meditation was incredible. Thank you for sending all of your love and support and energy to Pine Ridge. The Lakota community truly appreciates it. I want to thank you on behalf of the Give to Give Foundation and NeuroChange Solutions for joining us this evening. This was our first online learning and meditation session, and we're so honored that you had the opportunity to join us this evening. We want to let you know other ways that you can support our work. There is nonprofit organizations, boots on the ground, if you will, in Pine Ridge, who also are serving the Lakota community. So if you would like to support them directly, there will be a link in your email and also here on the screen for you to give to them directly. You know, Give to Give is only able to do this work because of the generosity of people like you. So if you're inspired by this work, we hope that you will continue to give. If you're interested in knowing more about NeuroChange Solutions and the workshop that these individuals have gone through and the transforming effects that it's having on their lives, there's also a form that you can fill out. And we, myself, Sadek, and Rosie, can share with you more information about how you could go through an NCS Change Your Mind, Create New Results workshop. We're going to do an introduction, 45-minute intro session to let people know how you could get involved if you'd like. This recording will be available. Please make sure you share it with your family and friends. And last, but definitely not least, we're going to continue to host these online learning sessions. So please join us on March 28th. Go ahead and put a save the date in your calendar now, where we will be sharing with you the incredible work Give to Give has been doing with incarcerated women in Mexico and the transforming effect it's having on their lives. We'd also like to invite you to subscribe to the Give to Give newsletter so that you can be kept abreast of all the amazing things that Give to Give is doing. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful and blessed evening. See you next time.